guys, welcome back to today's video. If you're new here, my name's Alora. I make motherhood and lifestyle content. I'm a stay-at-home mom to 2 kids. Don't forget to subscribe down below. Today's video is 10 practical tips to maintaining a clean home. I have been a homemaker for about 4 years now, which I know is not that long compared to like other people, but there are a lot of things I have learned in the 4 years of having my own home, making sure that it is clean and tidy and welcoming. And now being a mom to 2 kids, I find that I have to really be smart with my time and also have things that are just practical, things that make sense for where I'm at in life right now. I can't dedicate hours upon hours of cleaning my house like I was able to do before having kids, which having a busy toddler can definitely make my house feel a bit overwhelming at times. Us toddler moms understand each other. We just know how hard it is to keep a clean house with a very busy toddler. These are 10 tips I have implemented in my own life and have really helped me just to keep the house clean and tidy. At the end of the day, I know all of us moms are just trying to do our best. I'm always seeking ways and tips and things that I can incorporate in my life that make it easier, smoother, quicker. I'm definitely a work smarter, not harder type gal. And so if I can find something that is useful and that makes my life easier, I will always implement it if I can. And so maybe some of these tips you haven't thought of yourself and you would like to try out. And after you watch this video, if you find that I did not mention a tip that you incorporate that makes your life easier, I would love to know what it is. I'm going to stop rambling and let's get into the 10 tips. Tip number 1, have a plan. And what I mean by this is either have a cleaning schedule or have a to-do list. Whatever one floats your boat. I find that a cleaning schedule does not work for me. I don't stick with it because every day is just different. Each day I'm feeling motivated to do something different. And so I'm a to-do list type of person. Either the night before or the morning of, I will just kind of look at my house and just kind of decide what needs done. And I will write it down on a to-do list and mark it off as each one is accomplished. That is just what works for me, but I know that there are women out there who have a routine cleaning list and they stick with it. And I think if that works for you, that's awesome. It's never worked for me personally. That's why I'm just saying in general, have a plan. Whether it is a weekly cleaning list or a daily to-do list, do what works for you, but have a game plan as to what you would like to do that day. Tip number 2 is do one room at a time. And I really want to emphasize that, one room at a time, because there's a lot of times where I feel like we look at our house, we get overwhelmed and we're just like, nope, not today, can't do it today. But I find that when I just look at one room, for example, the living room, even though the kitchen is an absolute disaster, I'm only going to focus on the living room and accomplish that. And if that's all I accomplish that day, at least I accomplished something. I find I get a lot more accomplished doing one room at a time than bouncing from room to room to room. Number 3 is set a timer and try to beat it. There's something fun about taking something that you just dread and turning it into a game. It makes it, can I say it, fun? Like cleaning your house can be fun. Obviously you can determine the time, but what I'll do sometimes is set a 30-minute timer and I'll try to get as much done as I possibly can in that 30 minutes. And the fun of the game is trying to beat it. Can you beat the timer? It's amazing how much you can get done when you set a time and you try to beat it and you clean as fast as you can. It reminds me a lot of panic cleaning. You know, like when you hear someone's coming over and you look at your house and you got like 15 minutes to make it look presentable before they come, and so you panic clean. And like just kind of that rush and that adrenaline rush that goes with panic cleaning is kind of the same when you make a game out of it and you set a timer and try to beat the timer. It's kind of like that same adrenaline rush. So setting a timer can honestly make it fun. Number 4 is clean as you go. And this is hard for me personally. It's hard for me just to like in the moment put that dish in the dishwasher. It's hard for me in the moment to put that shirt that I decided not to wear back on the hanger and into the closet. It's just easier for me to throw it on the bed and want to worry about it later. When you do it in the moment, you will thank yourself in the long run. I know that there are many times where I am done with lunch, I have a plate, and instead of putting it in the dishwasher, I just stick it in the sink, and then the dishes build. and it comes to the end of the day and I have so many dishes to do and all I want to do is just go to bed. And if I would have just done it in the moment, I wouldn't have to feel so overwhelmed in the evening. And so cleaning as you go, as hard as it is maybe in the moment where you just aren't feeling motivated, your future self will thank you so much for doing it during that time instead of waiting towards the end of the day when you really aren't feeling motivated. And so cleaning as you go actually lightens up the workload at the end of the day. Number 5 is keep all-purpose spray handy and ready to go. I have a spray bottle of my homemade non-toxic all-purpose cleaner right on my sink, readily available to grab whenever I need it. As a toddler mom, I am constantly cleaning up something sticky. Don't ask me what it is. All I know is that it's sticky and I need to clean it up right away. I just quickly grab the all-purpose spray right on my sink and I spray it, wipe it up, and I'm ready to go about my day. I will leave my all-purpose spray recipe in the description box below. I love it. It doesn't smell horrible. It is non-toxic and safe for you and your kids and also your pets. Tip number 6 is to clean from top to bottom. This is probably a tip that most people already know. You will save yourself so much more time going from top to bottom. I find that especially like when I clean the ceiling fan, so much dust comes off of it, and if I would have swept the floor first, they would have just been so counterproductive. Number 7 is to utilize your vacuum. You guys, our vacuum cleaner can actually do a lot. So you know those attachments that come with our vacuum cleaners that we tend to just like stick in the closet and forget about? Utilize those. I find that putting on those attachments to clean out drawers, to sweep the couch. This is actually a tip that I learned as I started cleaning my own home on a daily basis, is that the vacuum cleaner does a lot of the work for me. Sweeping it first does more of the work than wiping it down first, because a lot of the times my rag will get nasty with dog hair or dirt or dust, and I realized that the sweeper can actually take that away for me, and then all I gotta do is just kind of wipe down the leftover residue. Number 8 is to use a collapsible laundry basket to transport items that don't belong. And what I mean by that is, for example, my son likes to bring a lot of his toys from his room into the living room, and I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of toys in the living room that I need to then take back into his room. Having a laundry basket handy, ready to put all the toys in that I can carry back into his room, is a lot easier than making multiple trips back to his room with my handful of toys. And this applies to more than just toys. I mean, there's a lot of times where we put items that don't belong in a certain room, but we just set it there and we forget about it, and eventually those things accumulate. I love using a collapsible laundry basket because I can just condense it down and stick it underneath the couch and call it good. Tip number 9 is to have a cleaning caddy, and this just makes it so much easier to transport cleaning supplies from room to room, and also just storing all of your cleaning supplies in a general location. I love my cleaning caddy. I just quickly grab it, bring it to the room I'm going to clean it real quick, and then move on to the next room. And my life is a lot easier that way. It's also nice not having to make multiple trips to the cleaning closet. Instead, everything's in one spot, easy to grab, easy to transport, and it'll save you a lot more time. Last but not least, tip number 10, and this is one that I've implemented in my life since having kids, and it is don't fold laundry. Hear me out. I have found that folding kid laundry is overwhelming and so time consuming. When I had my first, I was all about having nice and neat drawers, folding his onesies, making it look so aesthetically pleasing. And then I would find that I would pick out an outfit, not like it, throw it back in the drawer. And by the end of the week, his drawer was a mess. And I would have to refold everything again. And it just became so overwhelming. And so I decided to ditch the folding. I no longer fold my kids' clothes. And in fact, it kind of spilled into other aspects of laundry. I don't fold washcloths anymore. Laundry is so much less daunting, and I don't dread it as much now that I'm no longer folding my kids' clothes. I now have dedicated drawers to whatever piece of clothing it is. For example, my son has a drawer for all of his shirts, a drawer for all of his pants, a drawer for all of his PJs, and the same goes with my daughter. Having kids, you just do have a lot of laundry, especially having an infant. We go through so much clothes. We go through so many onesies, so many burp rags, so many drool bibs, like just so much clothes. It's nice knowing that when I'm doing my daughter's laundry, it's like I don't have to worry about taking time to fold these small little baby clothes. I just sort them and then put them into their respective drawers and call it good. And that is my 10 practical tips to maintaining a clean home. I would love to know if there's any tips that I didn't mention that you incorporate in your life that you feel like is helpful for other mamas out there or just people in general who have a house to clean. I know I'm always looking for ways to make my life easier, but also keep my home cleaner. Drop all the tips down below if you have any that I did not mention. I really would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, friends.